going to talk tonight about some trending topics. The Bud Light, you want to talk about that? We could talk about that, although I think it's been talked to death. I suppose we should talk about the ill-fated submersible device that crashed. Marjorie Taylor Greene drops a bomb. Facing a lot of pressure from regulators. If you're interested in any of those things, just scroll through YouTube and check them out. But I always like to do that before I do my little balcony show. See if there's anything that really catches my eye. And maybe if it catches my eye, it'll catch yours. I don't see anything in the trending that's remotely interesting, to be honest with you. Because I do sports shows also, and I like baseball. Baseball, this is summer time. The game of summer. They changed a lot of the rules, and it seems like baseball has recovered. Maybe baseball's going to be just fine. How the Red Sox are doing. A lot of my Red Sox friends are not happy at all. And they probably shouldn't be, but they're rebuilding. They just don't quite understand that in Boston. Beantown. See, I'm not from there. I do like the Red Sox. It's my second favorite team. Braves. Oh, of course, that's my home team. I gotta go with the home team. So baseball, it's almost approaching the break, and we could talk about some baseball. In fact, I might do a separate podcast on baseball. The reason I don't do that, and it's a fine shame, it's so hard to get any pictures that make any sense concerning sports in general, because you can't get video clips, copyrighted material. But we can talk about it, and I'll show you some pictures of Vermont. It's open lines tonight. We can talk about baseball. Sure we can. Braves are doing well. Last time I checked, they won 16 out of 18, playing the Phillies. Red Sox are still an interesting team. You know, I lived in Vermont for a while and came to love the Red Sox almost as much as my Atlanta Braves. And the two organizations are proud, long-time baseball franchises. But the Red Sox, man, that town doesn't know how to handle what's going on. They're rebuilding their team. Anybody out there that wants to talk about what's going on with Boston, I can certainly talk about it. I've been watching it. They seem like they're doing what they should do. They're trying to rebuild, trying to keep the team interesting, and this trade deadline, it might be interesting. So we can talk about any of that tonight. Any of you in the sports mind, it's the weekend right here. Not trying to rehash all the garbage we see all over the internet. But surely we'll talk about it if that's what you have in mind. So we're going to take some calls. And we're going to go, oddly enough, to Concord, New Hampshire. Is that right?
Concord. Yeah, this is James. I'm from Concord, and I'm a Red Sox fan. And I don't like what I'm seeing. I'll tell you that.
Well, what did you expect this team to be?
I'm telling you that Henry guy, he's not interested in building a team. He's trying to save money.
Well, I understand that. You went from like number one in payroll maybe last year, paid a luxury tax, finished last 2 or 3 times in the last 5 years. Not sure exactly how that stacked up. But James, he's trying to build a farm-fed dynasty. The only way you can build a baseball team anymore.
Well, that's going to take a long time because they don't have the farm system is not anywhere near what it needs to be doing like Houston and Tampa Tampa Bay, they got to do that farm system. It's going to take some time, and quite frankly, we're not paying these prices until that happens.
Well, it's a good concern, James. The ticket prices in Fenway are the highest. Hot dogs, concessions, the highest. You guys pay out the nose. That doesn't mean you're going to win, because it's a young man's game. Always has been. Keep that in mind. Well, we thank James for that call. You're listening to Vermont and Beyond. It's open lines, and James is talking about the Red Sox, claiming that the ownership is just tight-fisted. Well, there might be, but the Henry Group has invested quite a bit of money in the Boston sports scene. And the Red Sox have always been a consistent winner, but baseball is a weird economic game. You can't just go out and get free agents, and the Red Sox have apparently discovered that, and they're trying to get in tune with modern baseball economics. They can spend all the money they want. Go look at the Mets. Go look at San Diego, Washington Nationals, all kind of teams, the Angels, all these teams have spent money. The White Sox have been spending. You can't throw money at it anymore. All these agents trying to get long deals and huge contracts to get a bigger percentage, and the players' union and the agents have formed a very tight little knit operative there, and baseball may be suffering in the long run for that situation economically, but you have to get realistic. Henry has gotten realistic. He hired Bloom from Tampa Bay, kind of like a reputation for building a team the modern way, and he's been criticized daily. In Boston, they'd be wanting to fire the manager in the third inning, and by the ninth inning, they're ready to make a statue for him. His fan base, believe me, I'm very familiar with how it works, having spent time in that area. That's why I became a Red Sox fan. It's a great fan experience. This team should always be a winner, but it's going to have to retool. Not sure how much fun it's going to be in Beantown. The farm system typically was rated in the bottom portion last year, and now they're considered a mid-level farm system. That's good progress, but it's not quite good enough to start pumping the pipeline with talent and starting to win on a daily basis. So he's got a job there. You got to keep those fans happy. They get the high ticket prices, all that, and it's just going to be a lot of uproar. Believe me, James is not unique to Boston fans. You know, a tight-fisted, money-grubbing capitalist ogre, and Bloom and Cora, the manager, take a lot of heat. That they're building a team to be like Atlanta, like the Dodgers, Braves, Dodgers. Two prime examples of how to do it right. Houston, not doing so much this year, but they're on the same program. It's the way you have to do it in baseball. There's not enough young talent to begin with, and the young man, it's a young man's game, and the baseball talent is really sought after. And so the key is to get the drafting done correctly with scouting and then development, and you've got to put your money there, not in free agency. But the plans in Boston, used to having a winner on the stroke of a dime. I would be surprised to make the playoffs, but it's really going perfectly on schedule in Boston. This is Vermont and Beyond, a snippet from a longer podcast available on your favorite podcast platform, Spotify and YouTube Music, and all the podcast forums that you know. Maybe you want to do something and you don't have time to hold the phone. You can just listen to the entire Vermont and Beyond podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Vermont and Beyond, and thanks for joining us on this weekend. Got to get to those woods. It's a beautiful day. Might be a good day for the Red Sox to win the ball game, too.